Hello, YouTubers, and welcome to Level-Headed News. This is the third in the trifecta of episodes I have for you this morning here on the 12th day of January 2017. The first article that I have for you is off of BizPack Review, and again, all these URLs are in the description of the video so you can pull them up to do further research. But exclusive, 18 years of energy data manipulation, entirely unacceptable. No proof, doctoring has ended. With the Department of Interior's U.S. Geological Survey, USGS, have yet to tell Congress they've punished a pair of scientists nearly 2 decades of data manipulation at a federal lab, or what's being done to prevent more of it. Congressman investigating the scandal. We haven't received assurance that the agency has taken necessary steps to prevent future misconduct, or that any employee were truly held accountable for the indefensible actions, Representative Louis Gohmert told the Daily Caller News Foundation's investigative group. The Texas Republican is chairman of the House Natural Resources Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigations, which is investigating the data manipulation. 2 USGS scientists manipulated data at Lakewood, Colorado lab for nearly its entire existence from 1996 to 2014. Managers willfully neglected the falsification, and the agency learned how to prevent future as early as 2008, but the issue still isn't fixed, previously reported. The USGS has repeatedly refused to say if any person has been punished or fired for the manipulation. Gohmert's panel has investigated the issue since June 2016, but hasn't uncovered many answers. The USGS gave the subcommittee a batch of documents, but many were completely redacted, making them useless. The more we dig in, the more questions arise, Gohmert told the DCNF. About just a few fudged numbers, we're talking about nearly 2 decades of continuous data manipulation. We're still trying to understand the entire scope of the problem. Isolated to just one lab? Is similar misconduct happening elsewhere? The manipulated data regarding a variety of energy-related topics, including the quality of coal reserves and uranium deposits. The motives of the scientists manipulated the data are unknown. The effects are also unclear, though a June 2016 Department of the Interior Inspector General reported they will be serious and far-ranging. $8 million worth of projects were affected. For the so-called gold standard of scientific integrity and reliability, the systematic issue of data manipulation is unfathomable and entirely unacceptable, Gohmert said. We need to restore accountability and integrity to our federal science institutions for the sake of our hard-working taxpayers. That's the end of that article. The next article that I have for you is off of BizPack Review. I don't know if you can hear this rain hitting the window here in my office, but it is just pounding out there. Hopefully I won't get washed away before I get these episodes on the air for you. It says Representative Meadows slams push to lift ban on earmarks. We're supposed to drain the swamp, not fill it. U.S. Representative Mark Meadows, the new chairman of the House Freedom Caucus, is pushing back hard on talks about bringing back earmarks. Appearing on Fox News, Your World with Neil Cavuto, the North Carolina Republican said lifting the ban on earmarks is inconsistent with President-elect Donald Trump's goal to drain the swamp. I think to bring back earmarks at this particular juncture sends entirely the wrong message and is actually going the other way, Meadows said. It won't drain the swamp, it will actually fill the swamp. I think we can be fiscally responsible, make good legislation, hopefully work with President-elect Trump and his administration to get the priorities that are from people, he added. But to bring back the earmark ban is certainly the timing could not be worse. The Washington Times reported Sunday that Senate Republicans are poised to restore earmarks unless opponents muster the votes to stop them in the secret ballot on Tuesday. The newspaper said House Speaker Paul Ryan is under severe pressure from his members and has agreed to study the issue. Among the GOP lawmakers in the House wanting to see a return to pork barrel spending are the U.S. Representatives Mike Bost and Simkus, Republican from Illinois. According to the Southern Illinoisian, says those pushing for earmarks argue that Congress has the power of the purse and is charged with the task of directing federal money. Cavuto and Meadows went on to discuss the virtues of Congress maintaining the power of the purse, tax reform, and making government more business friendly. What Meadows noted that he hasn't heard anybody back home saying, please bring back earmarks. So there you have that. The next article I have for you is off of flake.senate.gov. Flake releases waste book, Porky Man Go, of egregious government spending, including fish on a treadmill, loans repaid in peanuts, and desperate housewives watching computer. U.S. Senator Jeff Flake, Republican of Arizona, today released Waste Book Pork, highlighting 50 examples of outrageous and wasteful federal spending amounting to more than $5 billion. This is Flake's second edition of the Waste Book series, started by retired Senator Tom Coburn, Republican of Oklahoma. Among 50 examples of egregious federal spendings uncovered in Flake's 2017 report are a program that accepts peanuts for loan repayments, a computer that binge watches Desperate Housewives, into what happens when you put a fish on a treadmill. To help combat some of the wasteful spending features report, Flake will introduce the Stop Paying U.S. in Peanuts Act to end the nutty program that allows federal loans to be repaid in peanuts. Flake will also be reintroducing legislation to permanently prohibit the practice of earmarking. Boondoggles come in all shapes and sizes and pop up just about everywhere, said Flake. Hopefully, this report will be a guide to catch egregious spending lurking in the federal budget. Highlights from Flake's 2017 edition of Wastebook include, and you can click on links behind these to check out the footage on it, but I'll read them to you. $1.7 million for comedy clubs starring dead comedians. $74 million for a program that allows taxpayer-backed loans to be repaid with peanuts. $1.5 million to test the endurance of a fish on a treadmill. $5 million to study the partying habits of fraternities and sororities. $460,000 for a computer to binge watch Desperate Housewives and The Office in order to learn human behavior. $3.5 million to learn why people are afraid of going to the dentist. $817,000 to study monkey drool. $4 million for hamster cage fight matches. $300,000 to study if girls or boys spend more time playing with Barbie dolls. $450,000 to determine if dinosaurs could sing. $12 million for an IRS unused email archiving service. Flake will present his waste book at Heritage Foundation in Washington, D.C. today at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. To view a live stream of the event, you can click a link. And since this has already happened, actually it happened 2 days ago, on Tuesday, you can probably still watch it. It won't be live, obviously, but you can still watch the video. And make this stuff up. This one's off BizPack Review, and it says, here's how Trump can reverse the anti-American indoctrination programs Obama forced on schools. Barack Obama took his desire for hope and change seriously and remaking American education into a left-wing propaganda machine to indoctrinate kids across the nation was one of the most successful efforts, but President Donald Trump can use the very same system to reverse Obama's destructive influences. Unbeknownst to many, Obama reinvented the Department of Education from one fostering higher learning to one for anti-American left-wing program of indoctrination, according to Scalia Law School professor Buckley, who op-ed recently appeared in the New York Post. Obama's Department of Education has called a new civics and has initially forced all schools from colleges to grade schools that take federal education dollars to institute these programs that train students how to become liberal activists. Notes says that a good citizen is a radical activist who puts political activism at the center of everything that students do in college, including academic study, extracurricular pursuits, and off-campus ventures. Obama has spent his $65 billion federal education budget to infuse this liberal indoctrination program into nearly every public school in the country. For instance, the University of Colorado at Boulder offers a whopping 60 different courses in Obama's new civics. It is a program that teaches students left-wing activism instead of actual civics. Kids in Colorado who are being indoctrinated. Students are also sent out to organize K through 12 students in progressive causes. CU Boulder spends about $25 million a year on new civics, more than a third of what the state of Colorado gives the university, Buckley wrote. So what can Trump do about all this, Buckley asked? Well, Trump can take the exact same levers of power and retool these un-American programs into real civics programs and use the same federal stick to implement the new program that Obama used to expose kids everywhere to liberal activism. At a time when our institutions are under attack, when universities teach that it's shameful to be American, as we were in 1860, Buckley concluded, mightn't the feds help us understand the goodness of America and the nobility of our institutions? It is indeed time to make America great again, and we can start in our schools. All I have for you in this episode, this is off of Winnipeg Sun. It says, Texas cop allegedly filmed himself performing sex act on a dog. I am in shock. Lord have mercy. Twisted deputy sheriff from Texas has been arrested after allegedly filming himself performing sex act on a small dog and posting it online. Andrew Stastentia Jr., a 6-year veteran with the Harris County Sheriff's Office, who comes from a family of law enforcement officers, is facing charges and could face jail time. And should say definitely face jail time. And after footage of a man performing a sex act with a dog was discovered by investigators, according to ABC7. The high-tech crime unit was tipped off about obscene materials coming from an account in Harris County and allegedly linked the 30-year-old to it. The possession of obscene and illicit material is made even more troubling when a sheriff's office employee found it to is found to be involved. Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez said, "Every resource of this office will be dedicated to protecting the public and holding our employees accountable for wrongdoing." Sastecha, who was a U.S. Army specialist before becoming a cop, was immediately relieved of duty after being arrested. According to a statement from the sheriff's office, he was released on bond. Now, this is just amazing on so many levels. But this guy, bond. But we have patriots that are sitting in jail that have been denied bond for the last year. And this sicko is back out on the street. I think more than the swamp needs to be drained. Thanks. I'm bringing you the news. If you appreciate me bringing you the news, you like what I'm doing here, give it a thumbs up. Share it on your social media so everybody gets to hear the degradation that's going on in this nation. Be sure and subscribe. Click the little bell next to the subscribe button and check that little box so that you get email messages every time I put a show out, and keep yourself informed. We'll see you next episode.